Okay, so all of this Russia talk actually started during the election when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump had two drastically different approaches to Russia. Donald Trump wanted to get along with Russia and try to fight ISIS, and Hillary Clinton wanted to put a no-fly zone in Syria and further tensions with Russia.
You may recall that at the time that Germany was reunified, the promise was made to Gorbachev, the leader of the Soviet Union, that NATO would not move 1 inch to the east of Berlin. Well, since then, NATO has been steadily moving to essentially surround Russia. Now we're conducting war games around Russia. We are dropping fake nuclear weapons in Nevada, preparing for this potential nuclear war, which Hillary Clinton is begging to start. And let's just be clear what it is that Hillary Clinton's policy on Russia is. It is essentially a virtual declaration of war. That is what will happen if Hillary Clinton proceeds with her plan to create a no-fly zone. That means we are shooting down Russian aircraft over Syria.
Many activists and environmentalists I know actually voted for Donald Trump for this specific reason. They were afraid Hillary Clinton was going to start World War III with Russia. After the election, there was a big push saying that Russia hacked the election and this was the reason that Hillary Clinton lost. A journalist and TV reporter, Ben Swann, actually called out the falsehoods and lies from the mainstream media about the Russian election hack and has since disappeared from social media.
By now, you might have heard that these Russian hackers attempted to access the power grid in Vermont. The only problem with the story? It's not true. But this fake news story was published by the Post.
So Hillary Clinton wanted to further tensions with Russia, and after the election, she said that Russia hacked the election. Even if Russia hacked the election, which they probably didn't, what they showed was that Hillary Clinton and the media was actually rigging the entire election. So this meme is perfect. Wait, Russia rigged the election by showing how we rigged the election? Hillary Clinton sold 20% of the United States uranium to Russia. Bill Clinton has done $500,000 speeches in Russia. The Clinton Foundation has received millions of dollars from Russia.
I did 2 chapters in the book on this Russia uranium deal. Donald Trump talked about it in his speech. The New York Times actually took our reporting and did a 4,000-word front page piece confirming all of it. You're talking about $145 million from shareholders in a very small Canadian uranium company that needed Hillary Clinton's State Department to approve the sale of their company to the Russian government. And what the Clintons want to say is that there was just this spontaneous outpouring of benevolent donations by these shareholders and had no effect on her. My point is, look, you know, we would like to find out what kind of communication might have taken place here. She deleted 30,000 emails. But the point is, this needs to be investigated. And I'm really, frankly, shocked that a lot of news outlets, and I would name them, CNN, NBC, for example, are not interested in pursuing this story.
So Donald Trump wants to get along with Russia. Hillary Clinton wants to start war with Russia, even though she sold uranium to Russia. And everybody is believing the media-fueled, induced hysteria that Donald Trump is a crazy man for trying to not start a war with Russia. So the media has normalized a war with Russia and a World War III with Russia, and they act like Donald Trump is the wild one for trying to ease tensions and stop terrorists. It's especially confusing because Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard has taken a trip to Syria, and all of the Syrian people have said, "Can you please stop the United States from funding terrorists?" Barack Obama was apparently funding terror groups. Donald Trump knew this. Tulsi Gabbard knew this. And look at this video for further proof.
Legislation, you have a bill that you introduced today that would address loopholes you say have allowed American taxpayer dollars to fund terror groups such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Syria. Are you really suggesting that the U.S. government is funding these terrorist groups?
I'm not only suggesting it. This is the reality that we're living in. And
not directly,
most
though.
Americans, you know, if you or I were to go and provide money, weapons or support or whatever to a group like Al-Qaeda or ISIS, we would immediately be thrown in jail. However, the U.S. government has been providing money, weapons, intel assistance, and other types of support through the CIA directly to these groups that are working with and are affiliated with Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
So you're saying the CIA is giving money to groups in Syria, and those groups are working with al-Nusra and ISIS.
This story gets even more interesting because the deep state, aka the intelligence agencies, aka the CIA and the NSA, are waging a soft coup on Donald Trump by lying to him, holding information with him, and trying to get him fired and removed at all costs.
Now, what's at the core of this is an effort by some in the intelligence community to upend any positive relationship between the U.S. and Russia. And I tell you, there's a marching band and chowder society out there. There's gold in them there hills. There are people trying to separate the U.S. and Russia so that this military-industrial intel axis can cash in. But the American people have to know that there's a game going on inside the intelligence community where there are those who want to separate the U.S. from Russia in a way that would reignite the Cold War. That's what's at the bottom of all this. It's like, it's early in the morning, it's Valentine's Day, but wake up, America.
Wow.
Hey, look, what's going on in the intelligence community with this new president is unprecedented. They're making every effort to upend him. Who knows what the truth is anymore? This is like the electronic version of Mad Magazine, spy versus spy. And so the bottom line is we should not start a Cold War again with Russia. The American people forked over billions of dollars for the last one and changed the quality of life in this country. There's something wrong going on here in the intelligence community.
So what?
This gets even more interesting because WikiLeaks released yesterday that the CIA was involved in the French election and infiltrated it and tried to rig the French election. This is only one of the many things the intelligence agencies have done. If you followed history, they sold drugs worldwide, they sold drugs to the streets. They've overthrown and toppled regimes. They've been involved in rigging elections worldwide for the past 50 years, yet they want to demonize Donald Trump for getting along with Russia. They are normalizing a war with Russia. They're using the American people, using their emotions, their gender, their race, to normalize World War III with Russia. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can do your own research and check out more, but I'm sick of the Russia lies and the Russia media McCarthyism and Red Scare tactics trying to push us into an all-out war with Russia against the American people's will and without our president Donald Trump's will. Nobody wants war with Russia. This is a big deal that everybody should know about.